The holidays are officially here and we are making one of my mom's recipes she makes every Thanksgiving and is a must-have on our table. Baked Southern style cornbread and biscuit dressing is what's on the menu today, so let's go ahead and get started. Everybody needs to have a stuffing or a dressing recipe on their Thanksgiving table. It's a must, it's like a staple for everybody. And the best part of this recipe is that it's easy, but the secret to this recipe is that we're gonna use day-old stale biscuit and cornbread crumbles. Yes, stale. That is the key tip. If they're not stale, it doesn't work. So let me show you how we do this. So since we need cornbread and bread crumbles, one of the things I actually really like doing throughout the year is if I ever make a biscuit and cornbread recipe, I use those so I don't have to make like an extra batch, which you most certainly can. But if we have a couple biscuits here and there, I'll throw them in a freezer safe bag, toss them in the freezer, and that way when Thanksgiving time rolls around, I already have the big chunk of this recipe already made and done. So if you want to do that, that's fine, but since this is November and Thanksgiving is soon, we're going to go ahead and just make this totally from start to finish. So you're going to need to make one batch of biscuits, one batch of cornbread. After you've baked them and they've cooled, go ahead and lay them out on a sheet pan, crumble them up, and then leave them out for 24 hours to get stale. They need to be hard and stale to start this recipe. If you do it ahead of time and go ahead and make the stale cornbread crumbles and biscuits, put them in a freezer safe bag, toss them in the freezer. For this particular recipe I'm making today, I've actually already done that knowing I was gonna make it today. So in short, there's lots of different ways to make this recipe easier. And for anything Thanksgiving related, sides and desserts, I am all about making it ahead of time and completely done in the freezer, ready to go so that you don't have to cook on Thanksgiving Day, get up at 4 a.m. to start making all the things. Everything can be done easy and ahead of time. So that's the name of the game for this recipe. You have a couple different options. Do whatever works best for your schedule and your preference. After we have all of our crumbles stale and ready to go, the rest is really, really easy. So to start, we're gonna make the liquid part. In a large pot, you're gonna combine 4 cups of chicken broth, 3 cups of onions that have been diced, 2.5 cups of celery that have been diced, and 1 stick of butter. Place this on medium heat and you're gonna bring this up to a low boil and cook on the stove until everything is nice and soft. You're gonna need a really large bowl for this next part. So to this, you're gonna add in those stale cornbread and biscuit crumbles, 2 teaspoons of pepper, 1.5 teaspoons of salt, and then you're gonna gently just toss all of that together. Next to the bowl, you're gonna add 3 eggs that have already been whisked, the broth mixture, and 1 tablespoon plus 1 teaspoon of sage. Stir this all together until the bread has evenly soaked up all of the liquid. Then you're gonna add the dressing into a greased 13x9 baking dish. Bake at 350 for 45 to 50 minutes or just until set, but not hard. After it's finished, remove it from the oven and let cool for about 10 minutes and it's ready to serve. This cornbread and biscuit dressing is a Southern staple and a classic on your Thanksgiving table. It's easy and there are so many ways to make it ahead of time to make your Thanksgiving prep just a little bit easier. For the full recipe, head on over to KentuckyLiving.com. Everything you need to know and all the directions can be found there, plus so many other Thanksgiving sides I know your family's gonna love this holiday season. Thank you so much for joining me in my kitchen today, and until next time, I hope you and your family have a very happy Thanksgiving, and I'll talk to you soon. Bye.